Sometimes I'm hurting and I'm burdened when I'm gazing inside. Cause I ain't concerned with other persons, the foundation is pride. Feel like I'm faking a lie. It's like my comfort son, my Lord, cause I be raising them high. Until the day that I die, I surely struggle with this apathy invading. I try to front like I'm Mr. Compassionate, my ratings are high. And meanwhile, this folks is hurting every place I should cry. But I lose sight like bullets grazing my eyes. What should I do now? When I drive through my city and I see these folks hurting, yeah, I'm certain that I care till I'm home and close the curtains. It's like they ain't even there, man, my heart is so disturbing. I should be praying for them, finding ways that I can serve them.
Welcome to Friday Night Skate.
It all started with a vision from just a couple of kids who had noticed that there was a bunch of skateboarders that were around town and wanted a way to reach them. They got an idea that we should build this skate park, and none of them were skaters, and so we did it and opened up in October of 2005. And basically things started out really small. We had only a couple kids coming, there was only a couple staff here. I remember there were times where we would sit here and pray, God, just bring one more kid. That's all we asked for, is bring one more kid. And God began to answer those prayers, and soon we had 15 or 20 kids coming out. And then things just kind of all took off overnight. There was an event at the middle school where the Seven Project came out, and some professional skaters came, and they stopped in a skate park afterwards. And from that night on, we went from like 20 kids to about 60 or 70 kids per night. And then before we knew it, we were up to almost 200 kids in one night, and we only had a handful of staff. And so things got crazy. We came to a point where we actually had to close down for a little bit, just because we couldn't handle the amount of kids that were here. We didn't have enough staff, and yet we felt like the Lord was saying that it wasn't time to shut it down completely. We just had to figure out the problem. And so we went around to different churches and started asking people for if they would be interested in being involved in this, and gathered some staff and opened back up again, and we had a totally different response to that. We had more staff. Instead of having 4 or 5 staff, now we had close to 20 staff, and they came from all different churches, all different denominations, and it was just awesome. The kids that stopped coming started coming back again. We had some different rules in place, some different expectations for them, and since then things have been running very smoothly.
A typical night at Friday Night Skate includes kids coming around 7 and they sign in, and then they can just hang out with their friends. They can skate on the ramps, skate on the rails. A lot of them play frisbee and football with the staff. And during that night they can go to the snack place and get their snacks and just hang out with us as staff if they want to.
We bring them in every Friday night. We'll take them time around 8:30 just to preach the gospel. And we have seen a lot of fruit from that.
After that, they have free time until 10 o'clock, and then their parents pick them up and they go home.
So tell me I'm not alone. I really should have seen this coming. How could I be so blind? Be honest, tell me something. Am I really that far behind?
I would say about 90 to 99% of these kids come from non-Christian homes. Most of the kids come from broken homes, from drug abuse, from alcohol abuse. Kids deal with sexual abuse, physical, emotional abuse.
It just really hurts my heart to see these kids that they come from broken families and don't have a father image.
Getting past the small talk and getting down and serious with the kids, and sharing Christ, sharing the love of Christ. I look forward to that every week.
One of my highlights of Friday Night Skate is getting to interact and talk with the kids and seeing how their lives change as we share God and His message with them.
We just spend time being able to connect with the kids, maybe see what they're doing and just relate to them where they're at, and ask them how things are going this week, how school's been going, and if we can, get in a little deeper.
There's many times where they just ask a question about life and just tough questions that we were there and able to answer for them.
As we are in ministry longer, the kids learn to know us better, and they become more open and are willing to share what's going on in their lives. And that is always refreshing, just to simply talk to the kids and be able to listen to what's going on in their lives and know that they respect us as staff enough that they can open their hearts. They seek security in boyfriends or girlfriends or popularity, and they're seeking for some sense of security. And it's just like we just want them so bad to just take their security in God and just in Jesus Christ, and just to feel the love that He can give them.
Our job here is to be a friend to those kids, be Jesus with skin on to these kids, and hopefully lead them into a relationship with God.
So it's really cool that we can be the arms and legs of Jesus and just show a Father's love to them. It's just really rewarding to know that what we're doing won't just pass by or be lost, but will make a difference in someone's life forever.
I came out here the first night with my sister, I believe, and a girlfriend. And honestly, I have no idea why I came back. The first night I walked in the door and we were immediately greeted in the door by the director. And I saw immediately he was surrounded by maybe 4 or 5 girls who were crying. And he looked up at us, said, "Hi, your friend can show you around. I'll talk to you guys later." And I was like, wow, okay. I decided I needed to use the restroom. So I went into the bathroom, and same thing. There were 3 girls in there crying. I was in there thinking, what did I get myself into? This is totally out of my comfort zone. This is not me. I found out that the girls that had been crying and what was happening there was actually sexual abuse of minors, of a guy, and that was going down. The police were getting involved, and so it was an unusual night. And I just remember feeling very needed and very overwhelmed. I had no idea what I was getting into. I walked on the property that night, and then we prayed about the night, and we went home. And I remember going into my room and lying on my bed and not being able to sleep. I just laid there and could not sleep at all. What I was feeling was a strong call from God. And so I laid there maybe for 2 hours thinking about what it was going to cost me, what it meant to become involved. Ultimately, I said, God, I'll do it no matter what it takes. God has really worked in me through Friday Night Skate, and He's also worked, I've seen Him work in kids' lives.
When I see kids out on the street and they can just call out my name and say, "Hey Josh, how you doing?" and know who I am and be able to connect with me, it lets me know that we are making a difference. And last week I had one of the kids come over and just stop by my house and say, "Hey, I saw you're working around here and I'd like to help. Can I help you paint?" And he just came on in and we hung out for about an hour, and I know he had a pretty rough day at school that day, and he was just able to unload some stuff on me where he couldn't do that with his parents because he didn't feel comfortable. And being able to be there for him while he just unloaded was great, and I think it made him feel a whole lot better to say what was on his heart and what was on his mind, and know that he wasn't going to be put down for that.
Turn it up, feel the beat and scream the lyrics you know. Keep it coming. The time is right, let's unite to the rock and roll. Everybody.
From this point on, we do have some vision.
Speaking to you, the body of believers, the church, you know, we ask that you guys would come and support us and just be our backbone. The thing that's really cool about Friday Night Skate is that all the staff are from different churches, and we're just, you know, from different areas, and we're just pulled together, and we're just in unity trying to reach these kids. And so we just want to extend those fingers out into the local churches and just allow them to become part of our vision.
First and foremost, we need prayer. We need prayer for the kids, we need prayer for the staff, and our goal down the road is to make sure that every kid is covered in prayer by a specific person in the community.
And secondly, we need staff. We can tell a difference when we have more staff and can talk to the kids one-on-one.
We also, just like every other ministry, we need money. Some of the funds go to, a large portion of our funds actually, goes to insurance for the skate ramps. We haven't had anybody been seriously injured on the ramps, but we do need to be insured in case that sort of thing happens, because it's a risky endeavor to have a skate park.
We would love to be able to do some better ramps than what we have right now. It is at a time and place where these ramps have been set up and outside for over 5 years now, and they need some help. We would love to try to reach out to the parents and maybe expand the ministry a little bit with that. And along with that, you know, comes more expense and comes some cost and comes some time constraints and all of that. And so part of the vision for Skate Park is that we would love to be able to have some full-time staff that are part of this ministry that can be supported by the ministry.
If you can devote prayer to our ministry, if you can devote money, or if you can devote your time, you could use them all, and we appreciate your prayers. Thanks.
So there's many different ways to be involved in Skate Park. If you feel like that is something that God is calling you to, we would love to get you involved.
We feel like God has spoken to us. It comes from Isaiah 41:18. It says, "I will make rivers flow on barren heights and springs within the valleys. I will turn the desert into pools of water and the parched ground into springs." And we feel like that's something that God is going to do with these kids' lives. We feel like for a lot of them, their lives are broken and barren and parched. And that God will totally transform their lives, that things will grow there, things will blossom and flourish in a place where only dry bones were there before. So that's kind of been a vision of ours, and a vision that God has given us.
A new fire lit in you. A new fire, it circles this road. And may you never be afraid of your faith.
We have over 600 kids in the system, so the potential for getting involved with these kids' lives is almost unlimited. I'm under no delusions. I realize that we're all busy and our time is very valuable. But the question that keeps coming into my mind is, have I given God my Sunday mornings, or have I given Him my life?
Dude, shake my hand. Guess why I'm happy, dude. Why? 'Cause you didn't quit. Can't make it anywhere with being a quitter, right?
Yeah.
Later, dude.
And that's Friday Night Skate, the place we want to be, the place you want to be on Friday night.
No, man, we ain't focused on the war, we just kicking it. Worry about our image and our space up on the internet. Take me at the game, coach, I don't wanna play no more. If I can't give it all, I gotta leave it out there on the court. Thank you for the grace, for the will and the desire. Got me living for your glory instead of living to retire. But I pray I never tire of going off of Messiah. I don't need no motivation, you the reason I'm inspired.